And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and yes, I look like this is yellow, isn't it? I just noticed that. Good morning, everyone. One of my favorite shirts, though. This is one of those that wears good. So glad to see you. It's 6:31 already this morning. 68 and overcast. Oh, what does that mean? It means we've got rain coming a little bit later this afternoon. Possibly some of this could be severe. It'd be in the afternoon. We'll put it after 2 o'clock through 10 p.m. tonight. Could be some flash flooding. We'll get into the breakdown of all of that coming up with the weather forecast right around the corner. Good morning, Jeff Lewis. Good to see you there. Mark joins us. Billy, LaWanda. So many of you are up and at 'em as we bring in a Wednesday. Going to be the midweek. We've got a lot coming up in the morning show at 7. Friendsgiving. We'll learn all about that. That's coming to downtown Meridian. And also Jennifer will be back. Jennifer Branning will be back as we get ready for a runoff election on the 26th of November. That'll be here before you know it. Always concerns me with runoffs that people will kind of let it go to the wayside. Let's hope not. Get out and vote. That's coming. We'll find out more about that this morning. I'm sure Jeff Tate might be in as well. That's up and coming this morning. Let's get that good word of the day. Let's go to Collinsville now.
Did you know that according to the Center for Disease Control, over 178,000 people die each year in the United States due to excessive drinking of alcohol? Nearly 2,000 deaths in the state of Mississippi alone. That's an amazing statistic, but it should come as no surprise. If you watch much TV at all, a great percentage of the advertising is alcohol related. You see commercials with beautiful people at the beach, at a campfire, or in a bar just having a good time. Nobody is bothering anybody else, and by the end of the commercial, nothing bad ever happens. Proverbs 23, 29 through 39 is one of the most vivid passages given to us that helps us see the negative effects of excessive and abusive alcohol use. We won't read all of it, but the verses at 31 and 32 say, "Do not gaze at wine when it's red, when it sparkles in the cup, and when it goes down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper." That phrase, "in the end," should cause us to pause and think about all the things that might bring pleasure at the beginning, but the possible results in the end can be devastating and destructive. Billions of dollars are spent each year to try and convince people like you and me that our lives are somehow incomplete unless we consume products that can become addictive and destructive. May we resist the seductive appeal of alcohol and instead seek to honor God by being sober-minded, not being controlled by things that in the end can bite like snakes and poison like vipers. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that message. Always good to get that good word as we start the day. School bus attendant. I don't think we have those here. As we look here to New Mexico, school bus attendant will be somebody that sits at the back of the bus who watches the kids as the bus driver takes them along. There's an arrest that has happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's 64. She's accused of striking a special needs child. Of course, you are innocent until proven. There is video. We'll add that. We'll see how that turns out in court. As just how bad has it got to be at home, I guess is the first thought that goes through my head. You ever thought about running away? I'm sure there's a lot of people that joke about that. What do they call it? Go to get a pack of smokes and never come back? Maybe it's so bad that you have to fake your own death. He did it. Wisconsin, a kayaker, staged his whole death there. He has been found in Europe. He fled. He got away. Left his wife and kids all there. Shame, shame, and shame. Why do people do it? We don't know. We don't know the inside story of that. That is a huge headline there. Heinz, the ketchup that you shake this, they had, back in 22, they came out with some school lunch trays, I guess you could call it, that they were going to sell to schools. After no one is buying them, they are ceasing production of that. That will no longer be offered to schools after this year. Just didn't catch on. Maybe they didn't know the right people to get the contract.
Didn't pay enough.
That's something like that. If they think it's bad now, just wait till after January. As we all know that, wasn't it Iran that put out a hit on the future president of the US of A. They also fired something at one of our bases not long ago. Didn't injure anybody, but the United States struck back on an Iranian-linked group in Syria in retaliation for that. No injuries there either. I guess it was one of those we'll show you. Like I said, a different story come January. I think the thought of doing that won't enter any of them. They'll sit around in fear and chew their fingernails. When this man says he's coming, and they know that. That'll all start happening in January. Today, historic. It didn't happen in 2020, back in 2016 rather. It didn't happen in 2020, a meeting at the White House. Today it will. Biden and Trump will meet. The First Lady, future First Lady, will not be there. Have y'all heard about this? Why? And I cannot say that I blame her. Melania, if I'm correctly pronouncing her name, has not forgiven about that raid on Mar-a-Lago. As she explained, they went through her personal items on purpose. That would be, who wants somebody like that going through your underwear drawer? Let's just get down to the facts. She has not forgiven them for that. I doubt she ever will. You may forgive, but you don't forget. Maybe that's a better way to put it. She's not going. And, well, I can't say I blame her. Trump has bigger things that he has to handle. If you break it away and scrape it all away, that is basically where we're at on that. That didn't have to happen that way, and we all know that. That was a show of we're coming to get you. Separation of church and state. It's there for a reason. This pushes that line. Although I would love to see it, it does push the line of what the law is of Louisiana, to where they passed a bill to where it would have the Ten Commandments in every school. A federal judge has blocked it from happening. Again, I believe in it, but the way the law reads, I'm not sure it can happen. A federal judge has blocked that. We'll see how this turns out. Courthouses, we do need to see these things. It's what's happened to America. We'll see what becomes of it. Louisiana is where all that's going on. The governor had that done, if you will remember. Good man. The two Republicans that voted to impeach Trump did win re-election. They were from Washington and also California, is the reason being. We'll see what becomes of that after January as well. Louisville, Kentucky yesterday. Are y'all aware of this? This was at I think the best way to word it would be a cosmetic factory. And the explosion happened yesterday. 2 were killed, 11 people were injured. Downtown Louisville, Kentucky. They had to mark it all off. Everybody had to shelter in places. I'm looking at this as food and cosmetic company. We pass along condolences to their family. We don't know what happened, what caused it just yet. Nelly, do y'all know who I'm talking about? The rapper Nelly? They're dropping the charges against him. He was arrested in a casino not long ago in August. They said he had a couple of things in his pocket that he shouldn't. Some warrants, and they're dropping all charges. Not enough evidence to hold.
But he had it in his pocket?
That's what they originally said. I'll leave that alone. This is DNA. If you'd have had this years ago, maybe the Jack the Ripper case would have been settled many, many years ago. From 65 years ago, DNA has, 1959 is when it was, a murder has been solved. The identity of a little boy that was found has been identified. It goes back to identify the people that were accused of it. They're long gone now, but they'll go down in the history books as the people responsible now that they can prove who he was. This is, breaks my heart. A little boy who vanished. He was 5 years old in Oregon. His mother was taking a nap. He disappeared. He has been found deceased. Again, those stories like that break my heart to even have to tell those. Careful who you're dealing with when it comes to business. And what I mean like that is personal loans of partnerships. California. A man who owed a couple $80,000 has been arrested. Their bodies were found in a desert. He didn't want to pay the bill. He's been arrested for their deaths. Let's see. Let's get to something a little bit more promising there. As I keep reading all of this, they're saying that maybe the jailhouse is the place to invest. Do you invest in a little bit these private security firms? Be ready. They're saying that prisons are going to be going up holding cells as immigration is getting ready to happen, and it will need housing for this. Be ready for that. They will have detention centers built near major U.S. cities as deportation will begin. I even saw where the mayor of New York said he would work with Trump on this. Now, this is after what were they paying them? How much a week? How much a month to be there free for coming to New York? Well, they came and they destroyed your city. That all happened. We know that. There's no doubt about it. I don't know this guy. He's an actor of some sort. John Krasinski. He has taken the crown away, I guess you could call it away, from Patrick Dempsey. He's been named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. I don't know him, but he's an actor is what they say.
They must not have
45 years old. Let's see here. Sexiest man alive. I was trying to find what show that he's been in. Oh, here it is. He's been in movies as A Quiet Place. Never heard of it. A Quiet Place. If, missed that one also. He's married to Emily Blunt. He has 2 kids, a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. 45 years old, named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. Do they not do the sexiest woman, or is it just sexiest man?
I hadn't seen sexiest.
I hadn't seen sexiest woman alive. Huh. That's sexist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. Dozens in New Jersey were displaced yesterday as 3 bells went off, fire alarms. People have lost their homes. They're trying to get that. That was a major fire that happened in New Jersey. And y'all sit back on this. As we often talk about those that make just tons and tons of cash for what they do. Maybe they are the best at what they do to bring in millions. It just shows that all these stadiums and things that the taxpayer bills to bring in these ball teams. New York Yankees slugger Juan Soto. Does that ring a bell with anybody? He's going to sign a deal somewhere north of $600 million. Did y'all hear that? $600 million plus. It's a little more than that. A deal with the New York Yankees. Wow. Kim says that I should watch A Quiet Place. She says it's a good movie. I've never heard of that. Is it a thriller? What type of movie is that? I have to find that out. Nothing like a good movie. Huh. But as you're getting up and we put on our boots or our suit or tie, wherever you go, just remember, $600 million is what he's going to be making. I don't even want to do the breakdown of per hour for that. Whew. Now, as I mentioned, we've got a lot to talk about when it comes to local events that's gone on. There was lots of gunfire. We had a child that was injured last night. We'll give you all the details on that coming up this morning after 7 o'clock. Join us, won't you? We're going to do weather next as we begin this day together.
When I was elected to the state Senate 9 years ago, my goal was to bring a new generation of conservative leadership to the Capitol to get things done. I'm Jennifer Branning, and I'm running for the Mississippi Supreme Court to do the same thing. I've written legislation to lower taxes and reduce regulations on farmers, manufacturers, and other businesses in Mississippi. On the Supreme Court, I'll use my experience and conservative values to always interpret the law, not to rewrite it or bend the rules for anyone.
The most wonderful time of the year is just around the corner, and Al's Garden and Gift is ready for a magical Christmas season. From sparkling Christopher Radko ornaments to custom wreaths by Wanda, we've got your holiday decor covered. Looking for the perfect gift? Try our custom baskets packed with treats like Mississippi cheese straws and old-fashioned peppermint sticks. And be sure to add vibrant colors to your outdoors with pansies and snapdragons. Charm and beauty await your home this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
Okay, we're getting word from Kim that A Quiet Place is a scary movie. You know, watch through your fingers to see what happens. It says it's a good movie. Maybe you'll like it. Let's get into the forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look back at our record highs and record lows, anybody remember 64? It was a hot day. 85 is what we got. This was not really that long ago, some 5 years ago, back in 2019. We were all wearing jackets going, you go warm up the car. It was 22 degrees back in 19. Woof. That was cold. As we look at the forecast for today, 75 is expected. As we go west of here, rain will be a little bit worse there in Newton and Philadelphia in these areas through Winston County. Not bad, but we're going to have rain there. Also, all our friends down in Jasper, we will have rain here in the Meridian area. Just a little bit heavier to the west is what we're looking for. As we go to Bama, we'll see that Hamilton has rain. We see that Auburn, Alabama will have some light stuff. Not bad at all as we glance at that. Now, as we come across, what is the risk of severe weather today? As we look at this, western side of Lauderdale County will have some severe weather. The time is going to be anywhere from noon until, 10 p.m. is what we've got. That's what we're expecting there. Philadelphia, that southwest corner, if you're down around the Neshoba County Fairgrounds, get ready. It's going to rain. It's going to get wet there as we watch all of this, so be ready for it. A tornado, and let me say this, cannot be ruled out on this as we update this from the National Weather Service. November 1st, we rolled into tornado season again, and that is upon us. We'll watch this. Now, again, this is only a level 1, but we've seen stranger things happen. So we'll watch this. Be weather alert anywhere from noon until 10 p.m. tonight. With that being said, we've also got the possibility of flash flooding in the forecast also. Look at all of this. This afternoon into tonight, up to 3 inches of rain could happen. Not used to that. It's going to be a lot of water flow across the roadways there. Now, as we come across, here's the temperatures. Not bad across Mississippi, below average out in New Mexico, those areas. As we glance here, here's our forecast for today. 75 down to 58 tonight. As we look to tomorrow, down to the 60s. Woohoo! 67 as we move into Friday. Over the weekend, there's a lot of events that will be happening. It's perfect. Couldn't ask for any better weather. 71 for a high. That's perfect to walk around. We'll tell you more about that in a minute. Down to 45 Saturday night. So it's a little nip in the air as you get up to go to church on Sunday, as we'll get a high of 74. And then we got 10% chance of rain moving into the forecast as we go back to work on Monday. As we look at this, 50-degree weather on the way right before Thanksgiving. Ooh, 21st, we'll hit 57 for a high, down to 40 at nighttime. Can y'all believe that? That's good weather. We'll see 60-degree weather from there all the way through the 27th is what we're expecting. As we come along, what's happening with fishing today? The perfect timing to be out there is going to be at 9:30 this morning, around 9:23, somewhere to 11:30. The wind's going to be southwest 10 to 15, but it's a great day to get your lures and everything hung in the trees. 25-mile-an-hour gust backlash is what I hear when it comes to fishing on something like that. Not going to be much better for you deer hunters as we go out there also from Wimberley Taxidermy. Sunrise hitting at 6:22 this morning. Sunset will hit at 4:55. But look at this. Major time will be 8:30 this morning to about 10:30. But again, you're going to have to fight your scent being blown every which way but Wednesday. Yeah, that's what's coming. Y'all be prepared for that. Now, as we go here to take a look at what's happening with the National Hurricane Center, this is most likely going to affect Mexico. Is what we've got. A 90% chance of this storm becoming something more as we glance at this. As a matter of fact, let's turn and go to radar now to get a closer look at what I have on this. And I didn't hit the right button. It'll be okay. Minimize that and move over here and get to radar as we'll see what's happening. We do have some light showers in other areas as we pull this up this morning. Let's go down and look at this. This is not exactly what I expected, is it? Yeah, that's fading. This is where that storm is located here. So small at this point it hadn't picked it up. Developing right along in here. Now as we go back up, Mississippi, let's go to that north end of the state. Look at that, those showers that are happening from Tupelo to Greenville in these areas. Even Stark, Vegas there around the Bulldogs getting wet this morning. We'll see that as we go north to the Ole Miss area as well. Corinth getting some thunderstorm activity. Even over here by Grenada as we go and get a little bit deeper in here. Bruce, Mississippi. Vardaman, y'all are getting the biggest of rain that we've got right now. Duck Hill, a few small showers in that area also. We'll watch this coming out of Louisiana, Lafayette, and these areas here. As we go down here, we see that we've got a flash flood warning in effect around Lafayette, Louisiana. We'll be affected by this later on today. We'll watch these storms as they get closer to the Mississippi side. Tuscaloosa getting wet too if you're having to drive from here toward Bama land. Be careful in those areas. So a quick look at weather this morning. Right now, 68. Again, it's just kind of overcast at this point in the Meridian area in East Mississippi and West Alabama back over to Vicksburg. Rain is on the way anywhere from noon until. We'll watch all of that carefully and let you know when it becomes a threat to you with severe weather. Good morning, John. Fork Road is where he's watching from this morning. Miss Shirley Sharp, how have you been? So good to see her up and at 'em. Sweet, sweet lady. I hear she makes some good banana pudding. That's all rumor. I hadn't tried it.
We need to try.
Well, I think so. What happened to Greg and those peanut butter, the banana pudding cookies?
He was supposed to bring. He probably ate them all.
Man, I'm serious. If you have never, we got to get that recipe. It is the strangest. Your mind just cannot get the concept of a cookie actually tasting like banana pudding. It's wonderful. I love it. We'll be right back as we'll get the morning show underway. Friendsgiving, that's coming up in Meridian. We'll tell you all about that at the top of the hour.